Hi, this is Matt, and you're listening to Bluegrass Jam Along, the podcast for anyone and everyone who loves bluegrass. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bluegrass Briefing. This is your Bluegrass Briefing for the 12th of February 2024. Quick update on what is on the pod recently. Last episode was Jim Mills' final chat in the Earl Scruggs 100th birthday series. Talks to Jim about Earl, but also about sort of Gibson pre-war banjos, because Jim is something of an expert on those, and that was really fascinating conversation. Talking about the instruments themselves and sort of Earl's approach to looking after a banjo and how that has differed over the years and what some of the challenges are. Really cool chat. Really enjoyed that. So go back and listen to Jim Mills. And if you missed the other three parts of the Earl tribute, now is your chance to go listen to those. They were a lot of fun. But I'm done with those now. Moving on. Although we're staying with banjo this week. This week's episode coming up is with Kyle Tuttle, who plays banjo in Molly Tuttle's band Golden Highway. And he's got a new record coming out on Friday called Labour of Lust, which is great, really eclectic, really fun, some great songs, some great tunes, some interesting sounds, and I had a really interesting chat with Kyle about that, so that's coming out this week. I also, last week, had a chat with George Jackson, fiddle player, who has collaborated with Tristan Scroggins, and they've recorded 100 old-time fiddle tunes in a day, and there's a whole kind of educational element to why they're doing this, to help people learn tunes, and I had a really cool chat with George, and that'll be out next week, so I'll tell you a bit more about that. I'm also, as you hear this on Monday the 12th, I'm recording on the Sunday, tonight I will be interviewing Missy Raines about her new record. So lots going on, lots of interviews coming your way. I'm having some really fascinating conversations with people, and actually, slightly bizarrely, I'm a little bit ahead in terms of having episodes ready to go, and I'm 2 or 3 weeks ahead of myself, which is unusual, but it's a nice place to be in. It means I've got lots of good content coming up. I went last week to see Bela Fleck, my Bluegrass Heart tour in London. It was Bela Fleck, Bryan Sutton, Mark Schatz, Justin Moses, Sierra Hull and Michael Cleveland, and it was incredible. I've not seen most of those people play live before. I've seen Sierra and Justin before, but not the others. Michael Cleveland was astonishing. I knew he was good, but hearing it sort of in person was incredible. Such a good gig. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that. Tonight is Transatlantic Sessions, so a chance to see Jerry Douglas play again, which is always great. But I love Transatlantic Sessions. It's a really cool thing, one of my musical highlights of the year. So I'm very excited about that. I'm recording this now, and I'm going to be off out into London to watch that. But that's it. I'm rabbiting on a little bit now. I will get on with the actual news and announcements. The first bit is Church Street news. And Church Street news, what happened? So, Grammys were last weekend, but happened a little bit too late for me to include them in the episode because I'd already recorded it by the time they announced them. And the most sort of significant one really is the Best Bluegrass Album. And the nominees were Sam Bush's Radio John Songs of John Hartford record, Michael Cleveland's Lovin' of the Game, Mighty Poplar's first record, Mighty Poplar, Willie Nelson's Bluegrass, Billy String's Me and Dad, and Molly Tuttle and Golden Highway City of Gold. And Molly Tuttle won the Grammy. That's the second year in a row she's won the Best Album. And this is the first proper record where Golden Highway are the band for the whole thing. So that's 2 in 2 years, which is extraordinary. So well done, Molly, congratulations. And to all the band as well. I've interviewed a couple of those guys now. And yeah, just congratulations to them. Great record. Well, I mean, any of those records could have won and it would have been deserved. Awards are a bit of a weird thing. But yeah, Molly Tuttle won the Bluegrass Grammy. And the second bit of news is Michael Daves related. Michael does teaching on Artist Works, but he also does teaching separately on Zoom, in kind of Zoom classes. He's got a couple of things coming up, I noticed. So I'm going to let you know what they are. And the first one is the Intro to Bluegrass Mandolin, which meets for 6 weeks starting February 27th. And that's, exactly what it says on the tin, an intro to the bluegrass mandolin. Michael's a great teacher, really interesting kind of perspective on things, very good at explaining, and also sort of like giving you context around stuff as well. It's really cool. And the second one is a deep dive into Tony Rice's guitar style, focusing particularly on the Church Street Blues record, and that promises to be brilliant as well. And that meets for 5 weeks starting in April. I'll put some links in the show notes to Michael's various places so you can go and find out more and get in touch if you're interested in that. But they look like they're going to be really cool, so keep your eyes open for those. And the final bit of news this week is La Roche Bluegrass Festival. Bluegrass, I thought it was Sean Connery. Bluegrass in La Roche, French Bluegrass Festival. Have announced their 2024 lineup, and they have Eastern Ash Grass, Rick Farris, Broken Compass Bluegrass, Cisco and the Race Cars, Happy Heartaches, bands from France, Poland, Sweden, Czech Republic, USA, obviously, and more things to be announced. So that promises to be a great one. I've never been, but it sounds like an extraordinary festival, and I will have to get there one day. And that is on the weekend. It's July the 31st to August the 4th. I'll put a link. It's just larochebluegrass.org, but I will put a link in the show notes, so go and check that out as well. That promises to be brilliant. Which brings us on to The Grass is New, which is the new releases. A couple of bits in here. First is a new single from Darren and Brooke Aldridge featuring John Jorgensen called Price I Pay, and I've added that to The Grass is Mostly New playlist. You can have a listen to that. And then the other thing is Missy Rain's album Highlander came out on Friday. Kind of proper sort of homecoming return to bluegrass record with her new band. I've been listening to that quite a bit over the weekend. Going to dig into that more. Really enjoying it so far. It's a good record, and I'm looking forward to hearing a bit more of it. And I am chatting to Missy about that record for an episode coming out in a couple of weeks. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be really interesting. So Missy Rain's Highlander, do go and check that out. There's stuff from the playlist, stuff from that in the playlist as well. But it's out all streaming platforms, all the places you can regularly buy this stuff. Go and have a listen to Missy Rain's album, Highlander. And then we're on to Scroll On Buddy, which is just something I've spotted on social media that I found interesting and thought you might. And it is Alex Hargraves, who plays fiddle with Billy Strings, also Mighty Poplar, played in Mike Marshall's big trio with Paul Cowart. Amazing fiddle player, really, really cool fiddle player. He is the latest name to be added to the Artist Works roster. He's got a fiddle school coming on Artist Works. I think it's in pre-sale now. I don't think it's live, but there's such a wealth of amazing stuff on Artist Works. Like whatever instrument you want, you've got options. And they're all very cool. Knowing what to choose is the hard bit sometimes. But that promises to be great. So Alex Hargraves Artist Works course. Spotted that. So if you're interested in that, go to artistworks.com. I'll stick a link in the show notes and get some details. And that just brings me on to the In My Ears bit, the stuff I've been listening to this week. And I've been listening to the Old Time 100 a lot, the Tristan Scroggins and George Jackson thing, because I've been interviewing George about that. But it's really good. The first 20 tracks are out. Just really enjoyed them. I think they are great. I would strongly recommend you go and listen to that. There's something from that on the playlist. There's also, I'll stick a link in the show notes. You can go and find it. I've been gone down a real rabbit hole of instrumental string band music, and I've been listening to things like Bella Flex Drive, some of the early David Grissman quintet stuff, Uncommon Ritual by Edgar Meyer, Bella Fleck and Mike Marshall. I've been listening to things like Hawktail, Strength in Numbers, Phillips Greer and Flinner. I'm just really enjoying the instrumental stuff at the moment, and I've stuck a couple of things on social media, one on Facebook and one on Instagram, asking for recommendations. So if you have got any tips for really cool instrumental string band albums, essentially, and I'm like particularly stuff that's not just fiddle tunes, that is a bit more progressive maybe, or just like new music, or so let me know. I'm really enjoying that kind of stuff at the moment. I'm really sort of digging into it and enjoying following some of the threads of who plays on what and what's related to what, and so let me know, give me some tips, give me some new music to listen to, whether it's new or whether it's old and I just don't know it. But that's it. I'm going to wrap this up so I can go off and watch Transatlantic Sessions. I will be back with you on Wednesday with the Kyle Tuttle episode. In the meantime, go to bluegrassjamalong.com, play along with some tracks, download your chord charts, add your name to the mailing list. Enjoy all the content. There's a lot of it now, over 350 episodes, fiddle tunes, interviews, bluegrass briefings. There is so much stuff there. But in the meantime, I will see you next time. Have a great week and happy picking. Bluegrass Jam Along is proud to be sponsored by Collings Guitars and Mandolins, making some of the finest guitars and mandolins in the world since the 1970s. Visit collingsguitars.com and find out why.